Welcome back to Romance in the Wild. It's your girl Trying. Today we're going to do a dark romance. This is titled Owned by the Lost Boys by AJ Merlin. Hit it!
Grab yourself a book, turn the lights down low. It's time, everybody, for Romance in the Woe.
Owned by the Lost Boys by AJ Merlin. This is a dark romance, and this is about our Aerie. Now, Aerie is a loner pretty much. She only has one friend, which is her boss at the bookstore, which is where she works at. The thing she loves to do is video games, and they have video games competitions, which I was even aware of this, but obviously it's a big deal. So when she's there at the competition, her life is put in danger. Some actually get so angry at her that they want to kill her. So she goes back to the rental property, and there's these men in masks. Now these are actually the good guys, I loosely say, and they actually save her life. And because she's also a big horror fan, so think of it as like the Scream series, Texas, Massacre, stuff like that. So they warn her, you have to go now. You're in danger. So she leaves, and she goes back to her home where she lives at, back to her normal boring life. She loves to do tattoos on her body, and she just cannot forget what happened because this is so weird. Now, of course, she didn't notify the police. She did anything like that. She goes back, but the thing about the competition too was she saw someone named Isaac that she thought was like her childhood friend whose name was Isaac, who had been in her life growing up, and then he just disappeared, and she always wondered what happened to him. Well, it turns out it was Isaac. So now this person's back in her life. The thing is, it's not just Isaac. He has four other people with him. There's Cyril, Ezra, Arlo, and Ash. Now, these are called the Lost Boys. And their uncle is involved in the mafia, and he's one of the big top dogs. And, eventually they're going to step in. So they do a lot of things that are kind of shady, should I say? They're not sunshine and roses. They do some little dark stuff. But for some reason, when they see Aerie, they know Isaac really cares about her, they all start getting interested in her. And the thing is, I don't know if this is meant to be funny, but there's so many parts of this book, when they say things to her, that I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious. They're so funny. But they also are intrigued by her, and they want to pull her in. They call her their Wendy Darling because, of course, the Lost Boys from like Peter Pan. So I love this. The chemistry between the five men and her is very intense. This is definitely a reverse harem. There's also there's action, stalker. We have spicy, sexy scenes, sexy hide and seek game, which I highly recommend reading that part. And total devotion of five men to one female, because that's what ends up happening. Because they want to claim her, and again, they just know like she fits with them. She's odd like they are. They're not the normal good guy. So this is a dark romance. So there's some parts of this. They're a little gruesome, but there's for reasons for everything. They don't just kill just to kill. They're part of the mafia, and they have enemies. And because they're with Aerie, she becomes part of that. And now she has enemies. And they want to hurt her to get to the Lost Boys. Now, the romance between them builds up over time, and you can see where it's going, and you can see where she starts leaning more on towards them, but they start leaning towards her too. Now, I read this book, highly recommend it, of course, that's why I'm mentioning it to you now. The one thing that I don't understand, people who do bad reviews on books, and there was a bad review on this book, and which I'm going to bring this up only because this person said, when describing Aerie, they said that she just runs into danger, she's stupid, she's this, that. That's not what happens in this book. When Aerie goes running into danger, what she's doing is she's going out of her way to protect them, her men, the Lost Boys. She's devoted to them. She doesn't have anyone else. There's no family. There's no like big friend group. She has her boss is her friend who's married with children of her own. So really, her whole world becomes the Lost Boys. So for her, she wants to protect them, and they accept that. And there's this connection between them. That have you ever like just met someone you just know you're supposed to be with that person? It doesn't have to be like a spouse or even something to date. Maybe it's just a friend, or it could be somebody who's younger or older than you. But it's just someone this is someone I'm supposed to be in a relationship with. I'm supposed to know them. I'm supposed to be able to talk to them, and it's just you can trust that person. You can lean on them. They can turn their back on them, and that's how I feel like Aerie is with all of the boys. Now, Sarah's the leader. Ezra is a psychopath. I love Ezra. You have Arlo and Ash. Isaac's the childhood friend. They each have their own story. And I love how the way AJ Merlin kind of connects all of them together. They're like a perfect fit. Now, like I said, there is MM actions. There's two men get together. It's so like vague. If that's an issue for you, don't read this book. I thought it was beautiful. I never have a problem with that because I think they're all together. So what's the big deal? But I'm just gonna tell you, hint, if that's a trigger for you, so you know. But this is beautifully written, great dialogue. I love the drama. It doesn't take away from the romance. It doesn't take away from the friendships because they do have that. I'm gonna highly recommend Owned by the Lost Boy by AJ Merlin. So until next time, it's your girl Charlie. If you like books that are like a dark romance, please put them in the comment section. I always like to know what you guys think about these books. If there's a book you may read and review, I'm glad. I love finding out new writers and new books and things like that. I only do positive book reviews, so if there's a book that you send me and I don't like it, I won't review it because I don't believe in doing negative reviews. There's enough negativity in the world. Let's be positive, people. So until next time, it's your girl Charlie, and I would like to do a shout out to my sponsor today, which is Derby City T-shirts. They provided my lovely T-shirt. You can find this on Etsy. So until next time.